Welcome back to another episode of Navigating Postpartum with me, Jaree Williams. I'm so glad that you tuned in and I appreciate you supporting me, y'all. I'm so grateful for you guys always tuning in, listening to the latest episodes. And if you haven't yet, subscribe so that you can get that notification because episodes drop every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. But let's get into it. Today, we're talking about retiring perfectionism. That's something I'm still coping with. I know there are certain aspects in life where I'm like, wow, I'm still working through perfectionism. And that's okay because I'm human. You're human. And especially as women, we have this standard we hold ourselves to because even it starts as a kid, you want to be able to hold the responsibilities that you're given, whether it's taking care of your chores or doing good in school or making sure that you look presentable or making sure that your hair is done, making sure that you have the right outfit on. It's just so many things that we grapple with. I don't even know if that's the right word, but it's tough, especially as a Black woman feeling as though there's so much weight on you and you have to show up for yourself and for those around you and pour yourself out and making sure that everybody is on good standard terms with you or making sure everyone's happy, whether it's your parents, whether it's your friends, your siblings, or even just worried about everybody else but yourself. But when we keep focusing on that, it will keep us focused on what we didn't do instead of what we need to do. And what we need to start doing is pivoting, setting boundaries, and being at peace with that, you know. Get that freedom from trying to be perfect. I used to think like, oh, I could plan everything out to a T. As long as I follow these steps, I'm gonna get there. But let me tell you, it's not always like that. I was in college. I mean, let's back up. In high school, I did all the things I needed to get a scholarship to go to college. In college, I did the work. My grades at first, the first semester was tough, but I kept putting in the work and my GPA, the opportunities, all of that stuff came. And even when it came time for me to graduate, I was able to get the opportunity, a job that I love, at the time. And I'm like, yeah, my life is lining up. If you plan, you line up with it. I met my husband. That worked out really well. And then it wasn't until motherhood where I realized that you can't be perfect. That's not a thing. Like you can't do you can't be perfect. As much as I was trying, I'll speak for myself, as much as I was trying to be the perfect wife, the perfect mom, the perfect career woman, all of that went into shambles because it made me realize and do the inner work of like, girl, you're not perfect. No matter what you do, there's going to be people that are upset. There are going to be people that want more from you, and you're not able to give it. And that's okay. And I appreciate learning that. And I wish I understood that earlier because before I got married to my husband, I used to be like, oh my goodness, like, how am I going to, make sure the house is clean, make sure that, there's laundry, there's food, there's just all these things in place so that he doesn't have to worry about those things or like, I'm not feeling it. But I didn't day, those things didn't matter. And even when had the courage to finally talk to my husband about it, it shifted so much. He was like, I don't expect that from you. We're a team, partnership that we're going to take care of these things together. Like, I'm not putting that weight on you. And in my head, I thought I had to do those things, but in reality, he was like, I just want you to take care of yourself. And as a mom, you try to do those things like, oh, I want to make sure that, I'm always the one with baby. And, in reality, you need a break. You need a break. You have to ask for help. You may be in a situation where you have to go to work and you have to have someone watch your little one during the day. And it's hard. But you have to understand that you're not perfect, but you can try to set yourself up in a way that can help you move forward. And I'm not saying this to make you feel like, oh, you're doing a terrible job. You're not. You're doing an amazing job as a mom. You're doing an amazing job, and I just want you to know that perfectionism, it just stems from wanting to be all things for everyone and to excel, to prove to others that you can go to the extremes and be flawless. Like, it makes me think about, God, how we're made in his image. Just because we're made in his image don't mean we're perfect. Okay. And that's why Jesus came. Okay. So I want you to know that it's okay to retire perfectionism. It's okay to acknowledge where you're growing, in the areas that you're already doing great in. There's nothing wrong with it. And if you struggle with perfectionism before kids, and then you have kids, postpartum is rough because the weight of it all would be like a monkey on your back. You're always like, you don't feel like you're enough. And it makes me always think about if you ever if you ever ran track or just went running in general, the closer you get to the finish line, it's always harder the last 100 meters. Like it's always like you don't know if you're gonna make it. And you're constantly feeling like like, oh my goodness, this is hard. And for me, that's what motherhood kind of reminds me of if you're not focused on. Like that transition is just it's tough. And you don't really understand. You won't really understand like the things that people will tell you until you're in the thick of it. And that's what made me become a wellness postpartum coach because it's like I want to help you plan for what you can control. Because at the end of the day, we can't control everything. But if you can be prepared, it's going to help you out more. And I hear that, not even I hear, I know even winging postpartum, it's not helpful. But if you're a mom and you're already in postpartum, it can get better. There are resources. You can have systems in your home that allow it to run smooth. That's even if you're past the postpartum, like the early stages of postpartum and you're later down the line. There are systems that you can have in your home that's going to help you be more intentional, you know, be more happy, be at peace. Like you're going to be able to have the days where you're planning them out consistently and you're just like, okay, these are my non-negotiable tasks that I'm going to get done. And then when things happen, the unexpected happen, you won't waver because you're just like, well, I already planned for that. So just know there are resources. And if you're like, I need help learning how to do these systems, I'm here. I got you. Go to worthyforever.com, book a consult so that we can talk because I want you to show up as your best. And if you are struggling with perfectionism, let me tell you how you can retire it. It's not going to happen overnight, like a consistent fight, but you can give yourself grace. You can ask for help. And just remember, it does not have to be perfect. Just have your best effort. Your best effort. And each day your effort changes. It's based on how you are showing up. Some days, my best effort, I'm maybe on 10%. And I'm using like we're a phone charge. You got 100%, but some days I show up at 10%. But if I'm doing my best with that 10%, that's okay. Some days I'm 100%. Some days I'm 50%. But that doesn't mean I'm not a good mom. That doesn't mean I'm not a good wife or a good woman. It just means that I'm human. Okay? And just trust that God is working for you, not against you. Yes, there's so many obstacles, challenges, and it make you want to throw in the towel, okay? Even the season I'm in. Like once I get through the season, I can't wait to tell you guys about my testimony of it. But it's tough out here. It will make you feel like, what is going on? What am I doing? Is it even worth it? But it is. And the cool thing about seasons, they always change. And like I said in one of the previous episodes, it's not up to you. You can have faith, you can do the work, you can water yourself, and you can be a light, but the growth is up to God. And sometimes he's doing things for us that we don't even understand at the moment. We are in it, but he's like, I already know what's going to happen on the other side. So I want you to stay encouraged. Ask for that help, y'all. I know it's hard to ask for help, but let me tell you, asking for help is better than doing it alone. Even if you're like, oh well, nobody can't do it like me. That's okay. But find somebody, find somebody who can do it similar or still get the task complete. Whether it's, helping you out with your little ones or helping you with your housework, helping you with whatever you need. There are there are people who want to help you. You just have to be open to those opportunities and accept them when you actually do need them. But I really want you to become free from it so you can enjoy the gifts of life. Letting go of perfectionism allows you to be present, allows you to enjoy rest, and you can find gratitude all around you every single day. And knowing that long as I'm doing my best, that's all that matters. And if you are tapped out, overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and you're like, I just need a change. I'm ready to recover from perfectionism. I'm ready to recover from just being burned out and surviving the day to day. You just like, whoa, Jesus. Like, I don't know if I could take it another day. Be sure to register for my workshop. It's on February 18th at 5 p.m. We're going to talk about the strategies that you can have, talk about the systems that can help you navigate the day to day so that you can be present. You can enjoy rest. You can find gratitude all around you, but most of all, prioritize your well-being so you can have a better quality life, not just for you, but for your little ones. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you like it and leave me a review. And I appreciate all the love and support. And until next time.